What's the strangest way to say goodnight to someone? You miserable BH. You've ruined my life. Quote, John. I thought you didn't have a Reddit account. You lying FK. A bag. That's just not nice. Maybe just stick with a good old-fashioned teabagging. Good night, sweetie. It's only death if you stop breathing. Good night. Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget. My son. To include everyone. Tuck you in. Warm within. Keep you free from sin. Till the Sandman he comes. Sleep with one eye open. Gripping your pillow tight. Exit light. Hope I see you later. Has to be in a very cheery voice. Good night. What the FK did you just FG say about me? You little BH. I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs. And I've been involved in numerous secret raids on Al-Qaeda. And I have over 300 confirmed kills. I am trained in guerrilla warfare and I'm the top sniper in the entire US Armed Forces. You are nothing to me but just another target. I will wipe you the FK out with precision the likes of which has never been seen before on this earth. Mark my FG words. You think you can get away with saying that ST to me over the internet? Think again. FR. As we speak I am contacting my secret network of spies across the USA and your IP is being traced right now, so you better prepare for the storm. Maggot. The storm that wipes out the pathetic little thing you call your life. You're FG dead. Kid. I can be anywhere. Anytime. And I can kill you in over 700 ways. And that's just with my bare hands. Not only am I extensively trained in unarmed combat, but I have access to the entire arsenal of the United States Marine Corps and I will use it to its full extent to wipe your miserable ass off the face of the continent. You little ST. If only you could have known what unholy retribution your little, clever comment was about to bring down upon you. Maybe you would have held your FG tongue. But you couldn't. You didn't. And now you're paying the price. You GN idiot. I will ST fury all over you and you will drown in it. You're FG dead. Kiddo. Quote. Dead meat. Profanity. Inside joke. Good night. Forever. Don't forget to whisper that last part as you walk out of the room. And close the door easy. P.S. Door creaking. Quote. If I should die before I wake, I pray my soul the Lord to take, and we say it to children. I hated that so much that my parents had to just skip that part. A good half of what we do to kids is kind of intended to mess them up, it seems. Hey man. This helps me cope with my depression, doubling down in my insomnia. I can't wait to sniff your unconscious body. Good night and don't get massacred. I'll try not to. Hope you wake up tomorrow. So do I. No. Yeah, no ST. My German grandma would sing this lullaby that went. And tomorrow, if it's God's will, you will awake again. And all I could think of for so many nights was, how do I make sure God wants me to wake up again? What if I upset him? Material for endless nighttime. Fun. Anxiety. Later. Have a good one. The sun has gone to bed. And so must I. Quote. The sun has gone to bed. And so must I. The sound of music. You ever notice how Home Depot always plays the most PYAS music in the world? You would expect a store where 90% of the clientele are burly men in lumberjack coats shopping for construction supplies and power tools to maybe play something a bit harder than Drops of Jupiter by Train 8 times a day. I feel like I'm at Lilith Fair every time I go to buy a box of drywall screws. And for the 24 Savage Garden fans left in the world, Home Depot must be their favorite place in the world. Anyway. Night. Honestly. Any copy pasta would get me. Wait. Americans know Savage Garden? We don't. And that's kinda the point. Bart, do you wanna see my new chainsaw and hockey mask? I hope you survive this night whilst you slumber. Hope the bed worms don't eat your brains. Hope you don't get infected by a tapeworm. That wasn't a worm. The smiley face puts it over the edge. Smack good NIGHTESTMOTHERFUCKAAA. Have a good sleep. Remember to keep breathing. Good night, and don't forget, I'll be watching you, heart suit. I used to say this and then get up early to watch my roommate wake up and see him gradually getting insane. It was fun, but he moved out in a month and doesn't talk to me now. Totally worth it though. You sir are amazing. I not be sleeping for a while because of you. Say, I'll be back in a sec, and leave. 10 minutes later text them and say, I see you. Sleep with the angels. I'm sorry, did you just tell me to FG die? Lol. I desire your soul to be blessed with dreams of lore. That's not strange. It's awesome. I'll take some lore-heavy dreams, please. Fart in their face. There's always that one comment. I hope you wake up this time. Have a good unconscious couple of hours. Chloroform. That's also a good way to meet people. My girlfriend was so happy. She was even crying. Does this smell like chloroform to you? Quote. Good night, Wesley. Good work. Sleep well. I'll most likely kill you in the morning. Iconic. Rest well and dream of large women is another one I like from TPB. Control+F. Kill you in the morning. Yes. Thank you. Sit in the corner of the room and watch them as they sleep. I am no longer allowed at sleepovers. I'm a firefighter. We had a lonely old lady in our city who would call the 911 center every night at 8 just to say goodnight to someone. One night the calls just stopped and the dispatchers knew what that meant. A bunch of them went to her funeral even though none of them had even actually met her. Ah. That's sweet and sad at the same time. Hope she rests in peace. It's amazing how different firefighters and police are seen these days. I have no evidence to suggest otherwise. But I would assume both police and fire have similar numbers of people, like every job where you have narcissists. People just getting by. And good people, to name a few. But most experiences I've had with police have been negative, while experiences with firemen, women have been always positive. Whether I've been a witness to an investigation, a concerned caller, or needed police, it's generally been a negative experience. I call about a domestic dispute next door fearing it will become physical. I'm pushed aside and my statement was obviously ignored. Pulled over for a traffic stop where I'm in the wrong. I admit fault. Except I'd be getting a ticket. Apologize. And the officer literally threw the ticket in my car and walked back to his car without a single word after our initial talk. The worst? I called 911 as I saw a creepy person scaling the apartment next door at 2 a.m. Officers arrive as I stay on the phone with dispatch explaining his movements, and when police arrived I alerted dispatch he just hopped down and was running down blank street. I screamed out my window at the officers his description and where he was running. They shined the flashlight in my face and decided to start questioning me, resulting in 10 minutes of questioning disregarding him. A fire alarm goes off weekly in my apartment complex due to too many people watching the Food Network thinking they are the next Bobby Flay, and literally every time the firefighters are the nicest people ever. If it's cold and we are stuck outside while they investigate, they take out blankets for people and have warm coffee literally being handed out. I've been in accidents and fire EMs are always initially very concerned and constantly checking on people, even playing with kids. My youngest memory is a car accident with my mom and showing a firefighter my Pokémon cards. He mentioned his son had a collection and he amused young me for longer than I expected. Why? Is it the perceived power difference between police and people? Are they just jaded? I don't bake. But anytime my mother makes me baked goods I drop them at the local fire station because police just seems to be on a path of us v them. For reference, I'm white and it's probably ritualist I have to mention this, but we are talking about police. I'll be watching you. Bad morning. Every breath you make. Every step you take. I'll be there. Watching you. Oh, don't you see? You belong to me. Toodles. Okay. Dad. Jay's tired little boy eyes fluttered with that last bits of waking energy he had. He was a boy of 10. And his mother had just given him a gentle forehead kiss goodnight. As she always did, she caressed his soft, innocent cheek and whispered in his ear, "Now, don't fall asleep before Dad has had his chance to say goodnight." Her eyes pierced through the darkness, almost glowing with an intensity that gave Jay, a boy of 10, just that little extra he needed to not drift off into the infinite dreamscape just yet. With that, the mother silently got up and walked backwards out the bedroom door, closing it, but not completely. The dim sliver of light coming from the crack in the door was all Jay, a boy of 10, could focus on. He didn't know when, and he didn't know how. But Dad would be coming to say goodnight, with the blankets pulled all the way up to his nose. Jay, a boy of 10, watched strange shadows distort what little light there was and heard muffled voices creep through the crack like an ominous fog. Where was Dad? The hallway light turned off. Now there was utter darkness for little Jay, a boy of 10. The floorboards outside his door squeaked with the kind of weight only one person in this family could generate. Jay, a boy of 10, stared, squinting, struggling to make out the figure even though there was no mistaking who was sliding into his room. Dad. His shadow just stood there for a few seconds, peering through Jay's, a boy of 10, soul. The imposing figure wobbled slightly, hypnotically. But Jay, a boy of 10, dared not let that lull him to sleep. Suddenly, two sickening, wet pops rang out from Dad as his shadowy arms unsocketed at the shoulders and dangled at his side. He undulated his body, causing his dead weight arms to sling and twirl like a shaken rag doll. Jay, a boy of 10, struggled to keep his eyes open, but let a small, little squeak of a yawn squirt out, as if he was anticipating such insolence. Dad began warbling, an eerie call to the dreamscape, a song the subconscious mind, a good-night hymn for innocent little Jay, a boy of 10. Dad lunged forward step by step, moving through the bedroom as if it was filled with water. Closer now. Jay, a boy of 10, could see his dad's fingers flicking and twisting as if unbound by joints, tendons and bone. His body was hunched, but his head was still craned upward, the spine contorting into a hideous S. Those eyes, rolling and quivering, searching, wild, but then in a snap focused on Jay, a boy of 10, for Dad to take another step towards. The haunting trilling vibrated deep in Jay's, a boy of 10, brain. Sleep was coming. There was no denying it now. And it was going to be on Dad's terms, just as it had always been. Jay, a boy of 10, felt the weight in his chest and arms. His soul was being rendered from his body yet again, leaving that meat vessel, though numbing. Jay, a boy of 10, felt his dad upon him now with those long fingers wrapping around everything. Dad leaned in close to the open, waiting ear of Jay, a boy of 10, and whispered with cold breath, "Now, don't fall asleep before Mom has had her chance to say goodnight." Quote. And with that, Jay, a boy of 10, woke up, more tired than he had ever been. The bedroom was dark and silent aside from the irregular ticking of a clock unseen. The soft muffling of carpet against skin broke the silence, as the mother of Jay, a boy of 10, slithered out from under the bed, grabbing onto the bed sheets for support. Her sweaty hands and lips found his innocent little face. The tender kiss mother laid upon Jay's, a boy of 10, nervous forehead had a thick wetness to it that left behind a warm film, smearing her hands across his neck and shoulders. Mother whispered, "Now, don't fall asleep before Dad has had his chance to say goodnight." Quote. Then she slid back under the bed where she came from, returning the room to darkness and silence. The hallway's light, dim though it was, came back on, and barely audible. Faraway laughter fled in. Jay, a boy of forever 10, did his best to stay awake and free his mind. Holy flaming shitballs. Did you write that? IDK what this is, but it made me physically ill. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos.